2026 is going to be an awesome year. We got some pretty cool stuff coming up. First off, we got Foundations of Recovery. This is our flagship program. We're starting it in January.
This is for anyone, man, woman, or couple who wants to come and reclaim their heart from shame, trauma, and betrayal. We start off with an education on all sorts of principles, give you the common language. We feed you from a fire hose in terms of all things recovery.
It is such a great start to recovery. And we get at the roots of things, Tyler. This isn't like any other program. Like, this is our healing journey in process, and Foundations is where we begin.
If you look at the value that you're getting there to kick off a good recovery with all of the right education, all of the right language, and a team to get you started while also being directed by Brannon and myself through the whole process, what a deal.
So if you're interested, if you're struggling, if you've been wanting to do something for a long time, jump into this. This only comes around every so often, and we would love to have you there.
Click the link in the description to sign up for it. And to make it even sweeter, we're also including a raffle for a free pass to the Radiant Dawn retreat. Anyone who signs up for Foundations will be added to the raffle for that free Radiant Dawn pass. If you're a man and you sign up for Foundations, your name still gets entered, and you can give that pass away if you win it to any woman that you want to.
So what you're saying, Tyler, is if you sign up and participate in Foundations, you could possibly go to Radiant Dawn for free?
That's exactly what I'm saying, which is crazy because Foundations by itself is already an insane value.
Man, I sound so salesy. But it actually is awesome. So come to Foundations. And even if you don't come to Foundations, sign up for Radiant Dawn. It's beyond therapy, the best healing experiences that you can have.
Click the link below and come join us.
I feel shame about the things I avoided and didn't pay attention to.
Welcome to the Therapy Brothers podcast.
I'm Brannon.
I'm Tyler.
We're brothers.
We're therapists.
And we know recovery.
Bring your stories, your questions, your successes with real recovery.
Hey, Tyler, you ready to have some hard conversations?
Let's do it.
Let the Therapy Brothers podcast begin. All right, you guys, welcome back to the Therapy Bros podcast. Tyler, yet again, is out. He just lives the good life. Talk about a man that works hard and plays hard. So when he's working, he's like, he can work, that man. So it's good to see him out. I think he caught some fish last week, and I think he's doing something with his family this week. So hopefully he enjoys that, and we miss him, but he'll be back next week. So I do have Amy on the show with me today. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
If you could just give a little bit of background and some context to your question, and tell us what's going on, that'd be awesome.
Right. Thank you. We have been married almost 20 years, and we have 5 children. They range in ages from 18 to 2. And about 2 years ago, my husband hit rock bottom with a lifelong porn addiction. Since then, he was so ready to be done that he jumped into recovery, and I went along with that. And we've both been really working hard at recovery these past 2 years. And we never intended to keep anything a secret from our children. We just made a decision that when it was appropriate, we would share. And our 16-year-old, about a couple months ago, discovered, podcasts that are queued up on phones. She saw some, and
it's our fault.
No, not your fault at all. You're very discreet, and kind of connected some of the dots from some of the discussions that she had been hearing, and point blank asked, what's going on with you and Dad?
Okay.
And I just answered her from the heart. No drama. I was really proud of myself. And I think I answered really humbly and honestly. And kind of just shared some of those struggles that we were going through. And naturally, she had a lot of feelings of betrayal and the memories that she had as a kid,
Mm.
kind of placing the story along with those. And she, we continued the conversation for a couple of days. I would continue to ask her, how are you doing? What are you thinking about? And one thing that she kept on coming back to is, how do I not marry someone who is addicted to pornography? What do I need to look for? And I said, that's a really good question. I'm going to have to think about that. I mean, I'm here to support you and walk with you in all things, but I'm going to need to think about this for a bit. And because that's kind of been one of the last things that I really haven't thought about in our recovery journey is, what did I just not pay attention to? What did I not see?
Mm.
What was really kind of there that I just avoided, or I
Mm-hmm.
took the blame for as well. And kind of stuck in that spot of
Mm-hmm.
what I should have known, or
Yeah.
what I could have known, and what I just avoided.
So let me ask you, you've been married 20 years.
Mhm.
Did you know about this before you got married?
I did. So
Okay.
he shared with me when we were dating before we got engaged. And I mean, that's one of the things that makes me really sick is that I could not have done any less diligence with it. It was okay. I'm special enough to stop. That's great.
Oh,
And
okay.
um, it's going to be fine. I never gave it a second thought. Occasionally, I would ask, how is it going? And fine, it's fine. But I now know that it was pretty much, I think we had about 2 years of sobriety after we were married, and then it had come back pretty strong after that. So,
And did he, like, if he'd slip up, would he tell you, or would it just kind of go
no,
underground?
no, there was no disclosure ever.
Oh, okay.
I would just ask, and the answer was no, I'm fine. And we just went on our way. And in that time, I really saw a lot of personality changes. Um, he was always right below the boiling point as far
Mm.
as moods. A lot of anger, a lot of swearing, and our home is a really difficult place. And whenever I would bring it up, it would come back to me as a lot of the reasons there was stress, a lot of the things that were wrong were my fault, and I would just take it.
So
And
he'd turn the tables on you, blame
yes,
you. I
hmm
see.
yeah.
Um,
And then I just stopped asking and stopped trying and stopped bringing it up at that point.
did your intuition and your gut tell you that yes, it was happening and it was there, or did you just kind of go into denial and just not think about it and try to move forward? And
Yeah, it was, why am I the problem here? What can I do to make myself not the problem?
mm, so you really did internalize it and
Yes,
blame yourself. Yeah.
yes.
His gaslighting in many ways was very effective.
Very,
Yeah.
yes.
Um, okay. And so you would probably go into like trying to fix it, trying to be better, trying
Yes,
to keep the peace around the house and
yes,
make sure everything was okay.
absolutely. Yeah, I went
Yeah.
above and beyond to do as much as I possibly could to make life absolutely as easy as I could for him. Whenever I would leave the house, everything would be set up because it was always stressful with the kids when I would go. I threw myself into trying.
Mm. Um, was there was there connection between the two of you? Was there intimacy? Was there empathy? Was there emotional connection, spiritual connection?
I think we were caught in we had connection at the end that was very cyclical.
Okay.
If I have to look back now, there was always a big blow up disagreement. And then I think he would feel bad after that. and we would work on how can I say things specifically, how can I handle things better, how can and we would have that connection.
So it was a big blow up, and then it would turn to, what can Amy do to change, to like make sure this doesn't happen again?
Yeah.
Okay. Did this leave you with feelings of resentment and hopelessness?
Absolutely. I felt very hopeless, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you were trying everything. Yeah.
I was, and I know that I really tried. I just wasn't. I feel like if I would have had some more self-respect, I would have realized what was going on.
Right. It's like you were trying to fix the problem, but by not addressing the real problem.
Yeah.
And
we were never going to get there.
Yeah, never going to actually get there that way.
Mm-hmm.
And for so long, I imagine it just beat you down in many ways. And you probably tried to smile and move forward with your kids and act like things were okay there as well. And, make sure that they see that we're okay and mom's happy. But the reality is that wasn't what was totally happening.
No, not. Yeah. You said it really well. Yeah.
So when we're talking about, like, you feel shamed about the things that you avoided, what, like, there's some bit of honesty and empowerment in that statement, because you're owning that you avoided some things. What would you say that you did avoid? Like, what were you avoiding?
I think I was avoiding that there was possibly something wrong with me, that I was not a good wife. That I was asking too much, that I was.
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, like, were you really over the top demanding and difficult, and like, you were the cause of his blowing up? Like,
I mean, what I did do is that, I mean, I was honest that I wanted a large family. And I know that, and it was really important to me that I not work and that I stay home and raise our kids. And I think that placed what he saw as a really stressful burden upon him. Mm-hmm. And it was also really important for me that our kids go to Catholic schools, and that comes with a cost. Mm-hmm. And so, I felt the shame that I was just asking too much of him, to, provide for me to stay home with the kids, to go to these schools, that it was just too much.
Okay. But I hear you, and I can understand his stress and his feelings and all of those things. But at the same time, he chose into this. I mean, it takes two to make babies, right? Like,
yes.
Like this wasn't. I mean, maybe you pressured him, maybe you wanted those things, but whether you did or not, like, he chose into. This is not all your fault.
Yeah.
Right. Easy for me to say, but what I'm hearing is that maybe both he and you believe that it is your fault, and that he can be the victim to you. He can be the victim to the circumstance. He is stressed out trying to support this large family and all these things and whatever. But the reality is that, like, you have the kids, your kids go to school, and that's where you're at. And so it doesn't make excuses for blowing up on you and acting out with porn and all of these things, right?
Right.
That's a perfect gaslight to get you in a place where he can continue with the addiction and can continue to have you as his spouse, because it's like, well, it's your fault. You're the reason why, right?
Yeah.
The addiction will love that little manipulation, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So it's interesting that what I said to you, I said, basically, what did you avoid? And you kind of went into turning it back on yourself and blaming yourself still, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm not trying to let you off the hook completely, Amy. I'm sure there's things that I'm sure you were not a perfect spouse and not a perfect person.
Mhm.
Nobody is, right?
Right.
But something about you taking all of the accountability is easier than facing the reality. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you speak to that some?
I think I had to, if I was going to step into it, I may have had to accept the fact that I might have made a mistake.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to say.
It is.
Right? Yeah. But okay, and if you go down that road, might have made a mistake. You know, maybe you didn't follow through with what your gut was telling you should have.
Yeah.
Maybe you talked yourself into some things,
Mhm.
right? And now you're so far in, you know, it is what it is, right?
Yes.
But from the get-go, you felt some things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in a way, you kind of betrayed yourself by talking yourself into some things, right?
Yes.
God, I struggle saying that to you though, Amy, because then there's a little bit of like, yeah, this is my fault. I'm bad, right? But I really appreciate what you're saying. That's a hard reality. Did you date him long before you married him?
Not particularly, no. We dated about a year.
Okay. So it's pretty quick.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So now you're still married, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I think things are honestly when we had discovery day, it was the hugest relief I think I've ever felt. It was
I could
just,
imagine.
yeah. This is what this weed has, it had overtaken, and I finally saw what was going on, and it was relief. Huge relief.
Do you?
And we're working.
Go ahead, Amy. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, and it's it's not always it hasn't been linear. It's been things that have been really hard, but I'm so thankful and appreciative of where we are, and we're in a really, really good place. I think we're both being honest with each other for the first time.
Excellent. Okay, so some real good recovery work's actually happening. Now, yes. I'm gonna double check with you. You're not just saying that because you're talking yourself into it, right? Like that's actually true.
I think the early part of recovery was definitely that. There was some of that. I feel like now I can honestly say what I think, and I don't need to be afraid of it.
Good. Excellent. Yeah, I mean, just very early on in relationships, it's interesting that what we pick up on from each other. So let me explain this just a little bit. And I get in trouble here because sometimes it feels like I'm blaming the partner for getting in the relationship with the addict. And the truth is what happens is if somebody's really struggling with shame and addiction and they're unhealthy on an emotional level, they will gravitate towards somebody who will overlook those things and sacrifice their own truths so that they can continue to be unhealthy, right?
Yes.
And that's where, and when we're talking about your daughter, I'm sure you don't want your daughter to repeat those patterns of behavior that you had back in the day, right?
Yes. Yes.
So how do we teach her how to show up honest and empowered and boundaried and vulnerable and available to create intimacy and love in her life, but at the same time, like, not turn a blind eye to some really important things, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, if you were to really dig deep, Amy, to look inside of you and say, why did I sacrifice truths for the relationship? You know, where did that come from? Why did you do that, Amy?
I think I thought a lot about that, and I think it comes from expectation from my parents of getting married and what marriage was, and doing what I thought was, the right thing to do.
Are you saying that you kind of had this like picture perfect idea of the way things should be? And so regardless of the reality of the way things were, you were going to fit things into that box and create that no matter what? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes, because I think there was also some very specific, the criteria that was important to my family, or that I perceived as important to my family, my husband had.
Okay.
And so I think
like what? What was some of that criteria?
Faith, a similar faith being one.
Okay.
Someone who would support me being a stay-at-home mom, or who would encourage that idea, someone who had those same values. And similar, those were really two of the most important things that I was honestly looking for. And as I say that now, it sounds, kind of embarrassed to say that, I guess.
Well,
but
those things aren't bad.
Yeah.
Those things are fine, Amy. Like, really. But there's, I mean, to me, there's an issue. The issue is, you want a man who's going to work hard and support the family. Yes, you want a man who loves God and wants to connect to God. Those things are great. And at the same time, it's almost like, and tell me if I'm wrong, it's almost like on the outside, if he's those things, great, I'll take that. But like when we talk about a man who wants to connect to God and what faith actually truly is, doesn't that require some like honesty and vulnerability and self-forgiveness? And so a lot of the things that sex addiction will totally destroy. And so if you're choosing your addiction and you're choosing to live in secrecy and lies for years and years and years, on the outside, you might look like a good church man, good family man who's doing all these things. But at home, you're not creating intimacy, love, trust, and safety with your spouse. You're letting the shame of your addiction corrode you from the inside out, right? So what's interesting, Amy, like kind of putting all this together, on one hand, you're saying, I wanted those things, Brannon, and I didn't care so much about like the other things, these really important principles in a healthy relationship. I just kind of like, put them to the side because he would support me to be a stay-at-home mom and have a big family, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah,
I think I was really immature, to be honest, way back then.
Yeah, I was so immature when I got married. Oh my gosh. I got lucky that I married an amazing person because I didn't know what I was doing. But so we can forgive ourselves. We can practice some forgiveness, some self-compassion. But now you're not immature, you're wise. And I would guess that actual trust is important to you in a relationship.
Yes.
Okay. I would guess that you would want to model to your daughters that I am a woman who will not accept emotional abuse, will not accept lies and living in denial in my relationship, right? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're working your recovery and you're getting strong, and your intuition and your gut is pretty solid, Amy. I can tell, like you know it's in there.
Yes.
Okay. Now the next step is actually voicing up, standing in that truth, even when it's difficult.
Yes.
So when he comes along and he says, well, this is all your fault, or there's a flip of the table, there's a manipulation, a gaslight going on, what are you going to do?
Well, I did this last night. Actually, we were going for a walk, and he was kind of just cycling down, and I said, okay, well, I think I'm done with this walk. I'm going to back home. So
Good.
I had the dog, and I just left. I mean, I just came back home, and he had his cooling off period, and I didn't have to circle that drain with him. I could kind of just let him have his space and, wait for him when he got home. And then we were able to kind of address things with a fresh perspective.
That's excellent. That's a good example of, I'm going to walk away and not just be a punching bag. And when you're ready to talk,
Yes.
Then let's do it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you, I hope you've made it clear to him, I'm no longer the punching bag.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
I can take accountability.
Very, very much so.
I can take accountability for my stuff. I'm willing to do that, but I'm not going to be the punching bag.
Yeah.
Right? So when he starts into that pattern, you just, nope, not gonna go down this road anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I do think that is definitely a more recent thing that I've been able to do. It's not something that comes natural. I had to think about it and practice it for a really long time before I was able to do it.
Think how many years you were, right? And so to turn that around is difficult. And it's easy to believe the messages that he's saying because you've believed them for a long time. And the truth is, Amy, is all of this your fault? How much of this is your fault?
I have to say, the porn addiction has existed long before me, so that is not my fault.
Okay. That is not your fault. What about his anger?
I know the answer. I think it's probably, I'm getting close to saying that those are his things.
Okay, good. You're getting there. His resentment.
I'm getting there. I'm learning.
His resentment. How much of that is your fault?
0.
Yeah. His anger, his resentment, the children, that is half your fault.
Yes.
You were a half of that equation, right? But half. Yes. You were only half.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, how can his anger and his resentment, when it's all about you, not be about you? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah. When he presents that as the emotion, not hopping on that train.
Okay, but that's good. But you need to understand something about it, which is when he has resentment and when he has anger and blame, that's 100% on him. And so let me explain this totally here. Amy, can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're frozen on the screen, but
yes.
So let me explain this. If I'll use myself as an example. If I'm resentful toward my wife, let's say because she, I'll give you, my wife, I'll give you a real example here. My wife bought a chicken coop without asking me. Okay.
Okay.
So if I'm resentful toward her for doing that, is that her fault? She bought the chicken. I feel like she did something not cool, right? Like in our, she bought a chicken coop without asking me. What the heck, right? So, is that her fault?
That's hard for me. Yeah.
Now it is her deal that she did that. She bought the chicken coop without asking me. It's on me whether I'm going to resent her for it or whether I'm not. And so I can be honest and boundaried with her and open, and we could sell the chicken coop online and get rid of it. If that's what we decided together, if she said, I'm sorry, I did that without asking you, let's talk about this. Okay. So I can be boundaried. I can be honest. I can also be forgiving, but it has to be like really forgiving. You know what? That wasn't cool. You really want a chicken coop. I can forgive you for this, and I can move on in my life. I'm not going to harbor resentment. I'm not going to blame you for all of the woes in my life. I'm going to let this go. Okay. So resenting her and blaming her is me choosing to do that. And if I hold resentment and I hold blame and I show up in anger, it's drama. So now I'm in this role of victim, and it gives me power in my relationship. Woe is me. You're the problem. So it gives me power in the relationship. And if I have a partner who's a caretaker, they're going to be like, I know I'm the worst. I'm awful. Then I got a ton of power. If my partner doesn't play that role of caretaker and is like, you know what? You're choosing to be the victim here. I'm willing to listen to you, your frustration and how you feel, but I'm not willing to drink in the blame. I'm also willing to take ownership for what's mine and look at if I did something here, but I'm not gonna take the anger and the resentment, right? And that's what you did last night, Amy.
Yes.
Good job. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, after 18, 20 years of doing it the other way, it's hard to not keep going, like the patterns going.
It is so hard. Yeah.
And coming back to your daughter, like, this is the best thing you can do for all of your kids. It's not about what you say. It's about the example that you set. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, no, I do. Absolutely.
It's
not so much that I tell her
Amy, I'm losing you a little bit. You model to her.
It's that I don't take on that blame, that I'm honest with what I.
Oh, you were saying such good things, but you got cut off. I think I got you back. No, you're fine. You're fine. You were saying what I'm saying. You model to her what an empowered woman is, that trusts herself. That and as you model that to her, when she starts dating and getting in relationships, that's how she's going to show up in her relationships. Now there's good news here. You say it's your 16-year-old, and
yes.
Is your 18-year-old a boy or a girl?
Our 18-year-old is a boy, and then all the rest are girls.
Okay. So what you model to your boy is also important too. The good news is they're young enough that if you can own, like, hey, I've modeled weakness. I've kind of overlooked some things, and I've taken on some blame that wasn't mine to take on. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And with your 16-year-old, if she's mature enough, you can have these type of conversations with her.
She is, yes.
There you go. And so you just step into those with her.
Just keep going.
Yeah. And also model, like, and I'm, you know what? I'm going to like go back to the old ways sometimes because I'm not perfect, and you know, I'm going to show up weak, but I'm going to try to catch that and come back around and step into my truth again and again. I imagine, Amy, this will challenge your husband, and he'll both love it that you're stepping into your power, but also hate it in some ways. Is that what you're experiencing?
Yeah. It's different, and it's changed dynamic for sure. I think another thing that I've done, I think successfully, is kind of in this higher triggered state that I've kind of seen him at lately. And this anger. Last night he was speaking about, well, I think I'll just go to a virtual meeting tonight. And I shared with him this morning that I think I feel safer when you're in this. when struggle, I feel in person. And I didn't like it first. He didn't like it at all. And it was probably about 45 minutes afterwards. I had gone for a run and come back. And then he was like, you know what? I really appreciate what you said. But it takes him
Wow.
some time. But I think we're getting there. So,
That's a good sign on his part that he can come around
yeah.
to, instead of getting caught in the fight and saying you're
Yeah.
controlling or you're doing this and I hate your guts and you're to blame, for him to be able to say, like, I don't like that. I'm going to process my emotions. I'm going to come back and I'm going to actually appreciate that you were honest with me rather than showing up dishonest. So thank you. Right. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's really good on his part. Like that, there's some real recovery in there.
There is, yeah.
So, sounds like you guys are a work in progress with the relationship.
Yes,
But it sounds like it's going in the right direction.
I think so. I do.
Yeah.
It's, you always, I think one of the side pieces of, what did I miss before? Would I miss it again? I think that's kind of always in the back of your mind. But I think I'm not the same person that I was then. So
Good.
I think there's a lot
I want to ask you a hard
a lot
question
that I've come to know.
before I let you go, Amy. I want to ask you a hard question. Okay. This picture,
Okay.
this picture perfect idea, expectation of family and life. And it sounds like you will, in the past, you would stop at nothing to create that. You want that, right? Are you,
Yeah.
and I'm not suggesting that this is what's going to happen or anything like that, but are you open to divorce as a possibility?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I think now I am.
Why would I
think
ask?
that it
Why would I
would-
ask you that, Amy? Why would I ask you this?
I think it's because in the choices that you're free, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And options and that that's where, the freedom is whether I go one way or another, the option is there.
That's a good answer. Yeah. If you're locked into that there is no option, there's only this one expectation, this one thing, then you and him have created this system where you're stuck no matter what. And so within you'll betray yourself in order to keep the peace to make sure this works, as opposed to stepping into your power and creating real love in your relationship. Right.
Yeah. I think that's really, really where I was, that previous thing you described.
Right. And you're seeing it differently now.
Correct.
It's awesome. So,
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
well, Amy, I'm sure we could talk for a long time about all kinds of different topics. I hope I was able to answer your question. Did you get what you wanted? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. I feel a lot of peace about that.
You're doing awesome, Amy. Like, you're in a process. This is hard. There's a lot of forgiveness of self. There's a lot of forgiveness of your husband. You know what? I imagine, and I don't know, but I imagine you're a great mom who's done a lot of great things. And so try not to focus on all the failures and then say, look, I'm a bad mom or anything like that. The reality is your daughter talking to you the way she is and asking you these questions means you have some connection and you have some opportunity to really love her and help her even through the hard things. And, to teach her to not create the same pattern of living in an expectation and forcing that, but to actually live in your truth and be honest with yourself. That's awesome.
Yeah,
if you can help her learn that at this age. So, thank you, Amy. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, you guys, if this was helpful, please hop on, leave us a review, mention Amy, and just say thank you to her. It does take some guts, take some vulnerability to come on and to share her story and allow us to learn from her. So please share the episode also if it was helpful, and have a great day. We'll see you.